Thank you, Dr. Sambath, for giving me 10 minutes. I'll make sure it's done. Good afternoon, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on the 4th World Tamil Economic Conference 2017. It's a great honor for me to represent Malaysian Associated Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry to witness this great occasion. It is appropriate at this time to quote Mahatma Gandhi's word on health. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. So without further ado, I'd like to speak on public-private partnership engagement in healthcare and economic linkage proposal. I think one of the things which George just spoke, he paid a pathway for me to speak on medical equipments. Let's talk about what is the global healthcare market is all about. The healthcare industry, as Dr. Palani Periswamy stressed yesterday in his speech in session 1, education and healthcare is priority sectors today. It's not no more a luxury, it is a priority. And as you see, healthcare is one of the largest and growing healthcare industry in the world, and access to the healthcare varies across countries because of internal policies and also the population-based personal goals of each and every country. And among the healthcare industry, the biggest sector is healthcare service sector. That is hospitals, clinics, dental clinics, ambulance services, biomedical equipment maintenance, and many more. And healthcare products. That's what John spoke about. Is on the medical equipments, and the 5th one is pharmaceutical industry. This is the global healthcare market characteristics. What's going to happen now? The global healthcare market expenditures are increasing now. Today, at 2015, these $7 trillion is the healthcare expenditure across the world, and is going to go up to $8.7 trillion by 2020. It's a massive increase on healthcare expenditure. And also, the healthcare expenditure in terms of GDP, presently at 2015 is 10.4%, is going to increase to 10.5%. It's again a huge increase in terms of GDP as well. So this is a various, and I think I like to quote one of the sentences which South African businessman, billionaire Mr. Vivian Reddy spoke about is the country South Africa's need pact requirement or the agreement is they want to concentrate on medical and healthcare industry. That is the priority sector as well. Let's justify why South Africa decided to invest on medical and healthcare industry. If you see here, globally, as I said, it is going to go from 7 trillion to 8.7 trillion. But if you look at Asia, Australasia, and Western Europe, the difference is not much, the gap. We are spending about 1.6 billion, 1.6 trillion, and also Western Europe is also 1.6 trillion. There's not much gap. Whereas if you see in Middle East and Africa, which is second above the last, they're spending only 112 million US. It means there's a lot of opportunity, lot of healthcare infrastructure requirement is required. That's a great point. And the healthcare growth rate across these continents, if you see, Asia is the one who's stopping at 5% growth rate. It's exciting, and it's a transition economies. What are the transition economies, what you're talking about? After the death of the communisms in late 1980s, the Soviet Union, the Bulgaria, the Lithuania, all these countries are spending a lot of money in growing the healthcare industry. We have spoken about the global healthcare. Where is the Asian economy? ASEAN healthcare is 600 million people. The economy is now the 7th largest, is going to be the 5th largest by 2050. And the healthcare tourism within these ASEAN countries is almost touching $4 billion, which is mainly in Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. So what are the top issues and trends? I think most of the doctors here, very interesting to know. They will surely agree with me. There are 4 categories, which is this is the reason why the cost is very, very high today. That's a top issue, the cost. What is the reason for the top? One is operations, what is the operations? One is the care delivery, the regulatory compliance, and innovations. These are the four different factors because of which the cost of the healthcare delivery is going up. Very, very high. It's not affordable to a common person. The largest, if you look at ASEAN, it's very interesting to know Malaysia is the highest healthcare expenditure per capita. It's almost US dollar 400. It's higher than Singapore. But if you look at, and it is about to go, it's going to grow. The reason is the Malaysian health policies by the government is ensuring that the medical services or the clinical services is available at the doorsteps. That is what they're doing it. And that is where the healthcare expenditure per capita has increased from 2008, which is around 300 US dollar, and it is now touching almost 418 US dollar. So why? So with all this public health initiatives, private health insurance, and the reimbursement programs are increasing the cost of healthcare delivery. What is the goal? The one goal we should look at it is reducing the cost of healthcare delivery. This is very, very important. Unless we achieve this, third world countries, a lot of countries, the healthcare, the health delivery, the health clinical services is going to be a huge concern. We need to reduce the cost of the healthcare delivery. There are various factors. If you see on the right-hand side of the slide, there are a lot of cost containment measures the healthcare stakeholders have to do. And I don't want to go through all of this, but I just want to take only 3 points in healthcare delivery. One is technology-assisted services, strategic procurement, and achieving economics of scale. Let's look at these three. How do we do it? And I'm just looking into the technology-assisted services. Today, world, a clinician are totally dependent on technology. They're totally dependent. I'll take you a simple example of a BP measurement, blood pressure measurement. Earlier it was a mercury-driven blood pressure monitors. Today, mercuries are being banned in many of the countries, and now they're using automated blood pressure monitors. So technology is very close to the clinicians. And the medical equipment market at present is now around 418 billion US. It is going to grow to 540 billion by 2020. So it means the technology is going to increase. The infrastructure need to be improved. And if you look at it, still, the reason why US has got the highest level of healthcare delivery system is because they spend lot of money on medical devices. 45% of the medical devices globally is bought in US, whereas only 24% in Asia Pacific. Out of this 24%, 17.3% is in ASEAN. And out of the 17.3, 31% is bought in Malaysia. Very interesting figures. So what are the concerns? Just few minutes, sir. What are the concerns of medical device expenditures? I think this is very, very critical in South Africa now, is because all these medical equipments are high capex equipments. Certain equipment goes to 10 million US. There are very few equipment is less than 100 US. And all these medical equipments, because of the clinical services changes, the clinical treatments changes, there is a technology obsolescence. And since the people are distributed across the big continents, the equipments also have to be placed in the respective states, respective provinces. It's the aging assets. Then if the maintenance is not done, the lifespan of the equipment goes down. So high cost of maintenance and ineffective and non-strategic procurement. These are the various concerns. How companies how we can support, how we can help this healthcare industry. We have done an exercise. I just want to exercise this model, the linkage model. I think countries should look at private-public partnership models. Today, why are we owning a depreciating asset? Do we need to own a depreciating asset? Let the clinician do their services. The clinical services, there are companies which can provide this equipment at no cost. That is, you don't have to invest on capex. And that is the model we are looking at. managed service model, profit sharing, pay as per use model, and equipment operating lease model. I'll just brief you on the Malaysian experience later, a little bit, and setting up of refurbished and repair labs, and local manufacturing assembly. So I've got two proposals in hand now. One, as we have said, for the ASEAN market, Malaysia has become the gateway. Why not we look South Africa as a great way for the African countries? Why not we think about it? Huge opportunity. So what we did as a Malaysia, as a road, to the gateway to the ASEAN, what we did was we did engagement of private-public partnerships, facilitating cross-border healthcare regulatory framework, minimizing tariff barriers for healthcare, connecting ASEAN with the rest of the world. So I'm not running through this, sorry, Malaysian experience, but I want to commit something which is very, very critical for South Africa, because I was talking to a few of the clinics, the hospital owners. They say they're having a problem with the maintenance and also the procurement process. A quick example of this is in Malaysia, the government had 82,000 assets in clinics and 637 million worth of equipments. There was a gap. And what we did was, we supplied this 41,000 equipment, which is supposed to be 463 million. And we leased it to the government for a period of 8 years. And during this process, when we did a huge economics of scale procurement process, we saved to the government almost 136 million. Because we didn't buy one equipment, X-ray machine, we bought hundreds of equipment. We didn't buy one chemistry analyzer, we bought 800 over chemistry analyzers. And during this process, what we did was we brought the manufacturing unit in Malaysia. We brought a lot of job opportunities in Malaysia. 1,350 Malaysians was directly employed. And this helped what is the provision of affordable and accessible high quality to the citizens, as recommended by the Honorable Prime Minister. So quickly a quick thought process. And I think if the South African policymakers around, they should think about this. And as a company, I want to end this session, and also, as told by Deputy Mayor Ms. Fauzia yesterday, business cannot
Please,
grow.
time, please.
Yes, sir. I'm just giving you an investment opportunity right now. She was saying, insisting on health society, and as a company, we are willing to invest in South African community, and we are willing to invest in medical equipment market on equipment operating lead model, and we are available for discussions. With this, I just quote, as Lord Buddha quoted, health is the greatest gift. Thank you very much.